knew it was going to happen. I was like, I can't breathe. Hey guys, happy What Should I Do Wednesday! I hope you guys are having a fantastic, magical, wonderful middle of your week. I know I am, aside from the fact that I'm exhausted, but as you guys know by now that is just kind of how I roll. When I was a teenager, I used to be able to sleep for like days. Like, I don't understand. Like, I would be able on a Saturday to sleep the day away, literally. My mom would be like knocking on my door at like 2:30 in the afternoon, are you gonna get up today? And I was so comfortable and so tired that I could just sleep. And now I can't sleep at all. Like, I'm lucky if I get 3 hours a night. Maybe. And then I'm up by like 7:15, 7:30 every morning. And then I can't go back to sleep. And while it's good for productive reasons, like I get things done, you know, like with 2 kids, I'm always busy doing Girl Scout stuff or therapy stuff or school stuff or whatever. And then maintaining, you know, a household and keeping everything that goes in with that. And now, as if I didn't have enough going on, I start school Monday. God help me. So now I'm going to have 8 weeks of assignments and tests and studying and reading and all of the above. And then of course I do my videos for you guys, which are priority, and I just it's probably a good thing that I have insomnia, because I don't think I'd get everything done. I think I would be like living in a horrible like pigsty of a house with like no, you know, unhappy kids, and no, it would just be ridiculous because everything that I have to do like in a day, if I slept like a normal person, those 8 hours, I could be doing so much more. So sad. But we are not here to talk about my horrible sleep pattern or lack thereof and everything that goes into my daily schedule. We are here for What Should I Do Wednesday, where I answer all of your general paranormal related questions that you guys ask me all up on the Facebook page. And we have a fun little list today of questions that I'm going to answer. And I kept it short because, as always, my answers can tend to go a little long. So we're going to get started. Okay, thanks, bye. Our first question is it possible for an empath to control how much he or she feels from others, and if so, how? Yes. It is very possible. It takes a lot of work. When you're an empath, as we've talked about many, many times before, you are very vulnerable when it comes to the others around you. A lot of times your emotions may not be your emotions at all. You may be picking up on the emotions of others, and you are feeling them full force, and it's affecting your everyday. To protect yourself, and it gets to the point where it wears you out so bad because it's physically draining. It drains you so bad. And I think it's another reason that I have a lot of issues with sleep, is that I get connected to so many different people, and I think that I pick up on all of their emotion and all of their feelings, and it just keeps me going 90-0, and then it drains me to where I'm exhausted, but I'm so tired I can't sleep. And it's a lot, and you can't physically let your body go through that day in, day out. You have to be able to protect yourself. And so the best things to do for me, I think to each empath their own. Each person, each empath, I think, has their own ways of dealing with that. For me, I meditate a lot. I really, really, really like to relax and try to center myself. So I do meditation, and then of course I go to the gym and kind of beat the crap out of things, which can really help with the stress that goes along with that. And then the best thing to do is really focus on putting your shields up. You know, shielding yourself is a very big way of protecting yourself. And when you're on the flip side of that, when you're sick or you're tired or you're vulnerable or you're stressed out, your shields can kind of dissipate. And so then it's really hard for you to protect yourself. But you can do it through meditation, through shielding, through keeping your head as clear as possible, and just trying to stay relaxed and calm, I think, is the most important things you can do. I'm still learning how to really shield myself. I still find myself really wrapped up in others a lot. I pick up on a lot of emotion, and when people around me that I love and care about especially are stressed out or tired or worked up or anxious for any reason, I pick up on that, and it really affects my mood. I kind of get whiny and gripey and salty and sappy and weird, and I don't like it. Others notice it well before I do, and I kind of have to be smacked back into reality a little bit, because you get lost in your emotions. And so shielding is very, very important. And while allowing yourself to feel others' emotions can really help you understand the situation a little bit better than most would be able to, it's so physically draining on you that you just have to be able to protect yourself. And so the best things to do are meditation, shielding. For me, I also enjoy going to the gym and working out and kind of clearing my head that way. So, like I said, to each empath their own. I think that it's all in how you feel comfortable in protecting yourself and what works for you. Very good question, though. Moving on. Our next topic, I guess, and question is about having attractions to certain places or paranormal locations. This is a really good question. You hear stories about people who go, well, I just have to come back. You know, we've seen it on Ghost Adventures with, like, excuse me, I'm so tired. That's cute. Yawning in a video. Awesome. Could not be helped. I'm exhausted. You see it all the time in different paranormal shows, you know, especially like Ghost Adventures. We've seen it where people were like, I'm just attracted to that place. I've got to come back. I've got to go back. Something's calling me back there. Why do I have to go back? You know, we've seen it with like Letchworth Village and Penhurst and these places with so much history, especially so much dark history. I think that people go into a location open and willing to hear what that location has to say. And if they are not careful, they can become victims of attachment. And I think that spirits of that location attach themselves to the person, and it brings them back over and over and over and over and over again until it becomes unhealthy. It can become very unhealthy because it can affect the person's family. It can affect themselves, health-wise, mentally, physically, emotionally, all of the above. It can affect them, and it's just not good for them. And it comes to a point where you really have to be like, you can't go there anymore. Like, this is bad. Like, you're better when you're gone, and then you come back, and it's all hell's broken loose again. And so I think it's very possible to have an attachment of varying kinds to a location or to a place. And I think it's just due to the fact that spirits of that location have attached themselves to someone, and now they want them to keep coming back because that's the one person that can understand them and they feel a connection to them. And so it's just a really interesting thing. I've never personally had it happen to me, but I know a lot of people who have, and I've seen the damage it can do, and it's not okay. Like, it's really sad. And I think that it's something that can be prevented if it's taken care of quickly and if it's noticed right away before it becomes a major problem. And it doesn't always become a problem, but I think the times when it's not healthy is when you need to step back and go, maybe this isn't the best decision for me to be here anymore, even though you may love the place. And it may even not be an unhealthy attachment. You just may have a love for it. Like, it's a historical building that you grew up loving, and it was once something really amazing to you, and now it's fallen by the wayside, and you just want to see it back to its glory. And something unknown is holding you there, and you don't even know it. And so I think it can be a good and a bad thing, but when it becomes a bad thing, I think it needs to be a thing that's stopped, for sure. The last thing that we're going to discuss today is something that we've talked about before, but something that's kind of come into my life again and is playing a part in my life again, which is past lives. We've talked about my thoughts on them before and how I very much believe in them. And for the longest time, I had a reoccurring dream that I was a little girl, about 11 years old, in the 1800s, living on a prairie in a log cabin with my two sisters and my dad and my mom and my little brother. And we lived this life that I think families dream of. They were always happy. They were always loving. The home was full of laughter and life. And I would have this dream over and over and over and over again. My whole life would play out. And then I got scarlet fever. I had this dream. The little girl was 11, and then she was 12, and then she was 13. And when she turned 13, I was 17 in my life. But in my dream life and in my dream world, I was 13, and I came down with scarlet fever, from which the girl in the dream did not recover. She died. I've never had that. I never had the dream again. I never dreamed about her again. It was like but I always felt like me. Like I always felt like I was someone, I was that person. Like I seen the dream through that girl's eyes. You know, when she was sick, I felt the pain, I felt the fever, I felt the emotion, I felt everything in my body. Like I'd been there before, like I'd done it before, like I'd lived there before. I had not had another dream like that since, until about 6 weeks ago. I had a dream that I was a girl about 17 or 18 living in New York City. Again, I was seeing it through her eyes. It was the 1950s. I lived in the Upper East Side in a very nice penthouse apartment for the 50s. It was the lap of luxury for that time. And I did, I was the typical, I guess, what they would consider 1950s like socialite at the time. I didn't do anything. I was a very privileged girl. It was very obvious that I had anything and everything I wanted. I had money at my disposal, and I was able to have all of the finest things that the 1950s had to offer. I seem to be the product of a working class family. Parents are gone a lot doing the parent thing, and now I'm old enough to take care of myself, so I can do the myself thing. I have now had this dream every night for the past 6 weeks. A different day, same girl, but a different day of her life. A different moment of her life each time. Again, though, I feel like it's me. I feel like I've been there before. I see it before. I've seen it before. I remember the smells and the sights and the sounds and hearing it, and I don't know what it's about, but it's so insane to me. And it's really made me think about past lives, and past souls, and where you go when you die, and who you become. And it's really filled my head with a lot of wonder, and I'm curious to know what's going on. I don't want to ask a lot of questions now because I want to see where it goes and how it plays out. It's kind of piqued my curiosity at this point. Nothing bad has ever happened in the show, in the dream. Nothing bad has ever happened that is detrimental or tragic. And I don't know how long it's going to last, but I know that when I've been able to sleep at night, this dream has invaded my subconscious. And so I wanted to kind of ask you your thoughts on past lives, because I've had my thoughts asked, and I very much believe in them, and I very much believe that there's something to this story in my head, to this dream. I don't know what, but I will hopefully figure it out. But what are your thoughts on past lives? I mean, do you think your soul kind of floats into someone else at the time of their birth? You know, you were one person and now you're destined to be this person. Where you kind of relive your life over and over and over. Are we just on one big, you know, cassette tape that just kind of plays over and over? It's really, really interesting to me. And now that I'm having the second series of these dreams, it's in their decade, I mean, they're time apart. You know, I was in the 1800s and now I'm in the 1900s. You know, I'm in the 1950s. You know, what's next? It's kind of, and they're years apart. I'm 28, almost 29. So, you know, I haven't had any of these dreams for 12 years. So it's very interesting to me to see that there's spaced apart and they're different time periods, but I feel like the same, you know, I feel like that person. It's just really interesting to me. So when you guys comment on this video, leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say about that, and see if it kind of sparks up a conversation a little bit about past lives, because I'm really intrigued now and I'm really interested. And I really want to know who the hell this girl is, because, and in my dreams, I never get names. I never hear anyone call me a name. I just always seem to know they're talking to me, so which makes it even more ironic and more weird. So, I am really curious to see what you guys have to say about that. But that is all I have for What Should I Do Wednesday. Now, before I go, it would not be right if I wrapped up this video without doing a major shout out to someone very special to me, because today is her birthday. That's right, as most of you probably know by now, our admin, Miss Bobby Ann Merritt, it is her birthday today, and in true jazzy fashion, I'm going to embarrass the living crap out of you and wish you a very happy birthday on my video. I love you to the moon and back. You are a wonderful person and a wonderful friend, and I am beyond blessed to have you in my life. And I count my blessings every day that you are a part of my crazy journey called life, to make me laugh and listen to me cry and listen to me rant and listen to me ramble. And our chat sessions and our phone calls are some of my favorites, because I never laughed so hard in my life. It is ridiculous. And so I wanted to take time today in my video to wish you a very, very, very happy birthday. I hope you have a fantastical, magical day. And I can't wait to shout out at you for many more birthdays to come. I love you. Happy freaking birthday! I just had to do that. But I will see you guys on Friday for GA Flashback Friday, where I recap a past episode of Ghost Adventures. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, enjoy the summertime. Much love and happiness